Hi, and welcome to NECC Today, the show produced by NECC students for NECC students, featuring the best things going on both on and off campus. I'm Bailey Oreo. From Massachusetts to the ESPN National Championship in Orlando, the Rattlesnake flag football team proved that they can compete with the best in the world. In this story, we hear from a player and a coach who also attends Northern Essex as they talk about their journey, their challenges, and what it meant to represent their state on the global stage.
I recently spoke with defensive coordinator and Northern Essex student Andrew Baker and wide receiver Zach Stanganelli from the Massachusetts Rattlesnakes about their journey to the Flag Football World Championship Tournament in Orlando, Florida.
Originally when I came to the team, it was to play with my two friends, Hayden and Barrett, in an Ipswich League, and it eventually turned into a whole experience with all my friends, my two great coaches that I've known forever. And I keep coming back because I love my teammates. I love playing with this team. I love how I've been developing as a player over these past, 4 years. It's a lot different seeing, obviously, people from all over the world. Obviously, there's a lot of guys from any types of builds, from big to like smaller, faster, slower. It was pretty cool trying to play around other guys' skill sets and trying to have to adapt to, guard these guys or get open. I think on our last play of the entire first day on Thursday, when we were playing Montreal and Hayden got that pick, that day was tough on all of us. But standing there, just watching us have so much fun in Florida together, I think that was probably bigger than actually anything that happened in that game. Just being together and having fun and having a great time together.
The competition down there, we knew it was going to be tough. So going down, all the kids, we kind of had them, honestly, practicing. It was against the other coach, Ethan, and I. When we did our practice, we were having grown men essentially go against these kids, and I think it did help them out because some of these teams we played had some really big kids on those teams, and they were really fast and really good, and we were outsized in a lot of the matchups. So I think having us kind of beat up on them a little bit definitely helped prepare them for that competition big time. I think what makes us so unique as a team is a lot of these kids grew up together, and a lot of them in the same neighborhood. The core group of kids all grew up probably, and coaches included, maybe in just a few blocks of each other. And having that connection and knowing each other for such a long time definitely helps us out a lot. And even some of these newer kids, they've been playing together forever, and having that closeness as a team definitely brings us together and allows us to trust each other more on the field. Players to coaching, trusting each other, and just having that chemistry that we need to succeed. Standout moment of the tournament for me was probably in our first playoff game. It was a very scrappy and rough game the entire time, and we dug into our identity towards the end. Last play of the game, we dug into a team that was outsized, honestly outmatched, and we had a great defensive stand. Everybody did what they had to do perfectly, and they knew that if we didn't do that, we were going to end up losing that game by just a couple points. So I think that definitely, I was proud of the kids for that, and I think that stuck out big time. 15U is definitely a interesting and fun age group, and we try to balance the fun and competitiveness as much as we can. So all these kids know each other, and we know they're going to have a good time when they're out there, and we want them to, because if they're comfortable, they're going to make the right play, they're going to do the right thing, and it builds a trust having fun that we're going to be able to compete when it comes down to it. I think a play that really stood out to me was when we had our quarterback go down with double calf cramps in our first game, and he took a drive or two off, but then he came right back in the game, barely able to walk, and led us to a couple scoring drives. I think that showed a lot about the spirit of this team and what we built here. Yeah, I think the growth of the sport, it's booming right now. Like it's coming to the Olympics in 28, and that championship down in Florida was massive. I think there was a little over 1,000 teams there, which is unreal. So growing up playing this sport locally, it's great to see how much it's caught on and how big the stage for it's become.
Good luck to the Rattlesnakes as they aim to make it back to Orlando next year. Aspiring artists Tristan Taylor and Jake Axford are beginning to make their mark in the music world. Driven by passion and creativity, they're working to develop their sound and reach new audiences as they continue to grow. Their journey reflects dedication it takes to break into the industry. Over 4,000 students are enrolled at Northern Essex Community College. Two of those students, Tristan Taylor and Jake Axford, are also aspiring music artists. To gain some insight into their artistry, I sat down with them to ask them a few questions. What first got you into making music?
You know, I was 8 years old and I really was having a hard time in school. Obviously, I grew up in Haverhill, so it was something. And going to school, I was bullied a lot in elementary school, and at the age of 8, I decided, you know what? I find that listening to music is relaxing. Why not start writing lyrics? And that's how I got to where I am today.
How would you describe your music to someone who's never heard it?
It depends on the song. A lot of my songs are very different in terms of genre. The best way I can describe my music is basically just feel whatever you need to feel while listening to it. It's like one of those, I guess, vibes.
Do you start with lyrics, a beat, or just a feeling?
For some songs I start with a beat. For some songs I start with lyrics. Some songs I start with just feeling. I tend to just go in circles between all three. And then whatever comes out best is what I end up releasing.
Has your style changed since you first started?
Absolutely. When I first started rapping, I was 8 years old, and I definitely had like a Macklemore type style. And then that kind of evolved. I grew older, and obviously my influences changed. I kind of got into like Scarlord for a little bit, and now I'd say a lot of my influences now are definitely like Linkin Park, and maybe a little bit of like 3 Days Grace in there. But I also have like Eminem and Set It Off as influences as well.
Who is your dream collaboration?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would have to say Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park. I like a lot of his solo stuff, and I like a lot of Linkin Park's discography as well. And honestly, working with Mike Shinoda would be awesome because Linkin Park's music was so influential on me when I was younger, and I grew up listening to them.
What do you want people to feel the first time they hear your music?
I guess I want people to feel unafraid to listen to my music, if that makes any sense at all. I know a lot of people are afraid to listen to something new, and I get that, but you know, I just want people to feel however they need to feel while listening to my music.
What first got you into making music?
Well, when I was a little kid, you know, at first just kind of like was a little bundle of energy, and my mom would just record me with the hairbrush in my hand, and I was just singing like Queen, like songs by Queen, and just, yeah, that was just me as little as I can remember.
How would you describe your music to someone who's never heard it?
It would catch you off guard. I think it can be, you know, depending like strong songs that at least at first, I think it catches people by surprise a little bit.
Do you start with lyrics, a beat, or just a feeling?
Usually lyrics. When it comes to myself, like making my own music, it starts with lyrics and then like a tempo.
Has your style changed since you first started?
Yeah, I definitely did a lot of cover songs, a lot of Queen songs, a lot of older music like Frank Sinatra, and then like Michael Bublé, which is like modern versions. So a lot of covers.
And who is your dream collaboration?
Alice in Chains, I'd have to say, which Lane Staley passed away a long time ago, but Jerry Cantrell, the guitarist, is still very much alive, and I'd be honored to collab with them.
What do you want people to feel the first time they hear your music?
That's a good question. Inspired. It's not going to be perfect, but it's something I'm passionate about. It makes me happy, and I'm honored for people to take a minute to listen.
Listen to our podcast coming this summer. Have you been having some academic burnout or looking for a better way to manage school, work, and your personal life? Student Luna Cordero will be interviewing the Academic Coaching Office in order for students to learn more about academic coaching opportunities.
Are you struggling with your schoolwork and need help academically? I'm Luna, and I'm here at the Academic Coaching Office here in the Spurk building, and I'm here to find out more on why you could receive help academically.
Welcome to Academic Coaching.
What is academic coaching?
Well, that's a great question. Academic coaching is a personalized one-on-one meeting with a coach and a student to help student improve their academic skills.
What services does academic coaching provide for students?
Well, we have lots of services. We have like time management, we have goal setting, note taking, test taking, brainstorming. We help students connect with different services in the school as well, organizational skills, life skills, connecting, like I say earlier, connecting with other services, motivational skills. So those are some of the services we provide here for the students.
Wait, should they come to academic coaching? Yes? What was the main reason that you had to take academic coaching, or what made you feel like you needed coaching?
Funny story, I didn't know I needed it till I came to my aunt and I was ranting to her how I was on probation, and she was like, "Oh, do you have a coach?" And I was like, "I don't know what that is." So she immediately made me sign up.
Would you say that academic coaching has affected your student life and improved your grades since coming here?
Yes, because Sarah bullies me to do my work. Yes, it really pushes you to get on top of your work. It feels like you have a balance. It helps you with life balance and school.
Has the help that you received from academic coaching improved you in multiple ways aside from your grades?
Yes, I tend to procrastinate less because I want to be on top of my assignments, so I have good things to tell my coach.
And how many students do you help daily at the academic coaching?
On a busy day, that would probably be maybe 10. Some days a little bit more, some days a little bit less.
And do you feel that you've impacted them academically with being their coach?
I think so. That's the goal, to try to help people learn how to be better students so they can get better grades, achieve their goals, both here and beyond.
Have you say that you helped your students academically improve from being, let's say, down at the bottom to up at the top?
I definitely have had some students that have come in with a 0 GPA. They hadn't figured out how to be a student, and then working together help them figure out what are their strengths, what are they good at, what areas do they need to build on, and would work together to kind of help them figure out how to get their work done, how to study, how to just be a student in general. And then, I've seen students go from really low grades to, finishing up here and being on the dean's list.
How can students meet with academic coaches?
Well, how can they meet with an academic coach? They can just walk in. First of all, academic coaching is open to the whole school. But some students are required to come here. Students in academic probation are required to come here. And students that play sports are required to come here. They are strongly discouraged to come here because so they can manage life and schoolwork and stuff like that. But academic coaching is open to all the schools. To all the students. Sorry. and they can walk in and they can make an appointment or navigate, and we work by appointments. In Haverhill, we are in C211 in the Spurk building, and in Lawrence, we are in the Dimitri building in L231. Normally, the students can see their coach once a week, and but it's kind of like as needed. Even if they need help earlier than, more than a week, they can come if they want to come every 2 weeks, but generally it's once a week.
Would you recommend any students that are struggling academically to come to academic coaching?
Always, and you don't have to be struggling to come to academic coaching either. A lot of students do wait till they're struggling, but if you get here, even if you're doing well, if you start working with an academic coach right away and then something does go sideways or you do encounter an obstacle, you've already got that relationship established. So, you don't need to wait till you're in trouble to come see an academic coach.
Would you recommend academic coaching to any student that's in need of help academically?
Yes, I would recommend it. It is a really good environment to be in.
Visit the Academic Coaching Office in C211 at the Haverhill campus to find out more about this great resource. That wraps up this episode of NECC Today. View our other episodes on Channel 6, 1072 on Comcast in Haverhill or at haverhillcommunitytv.org. Until next time, I'm Bailey Oriole, and we'll see you on campus.